This is our quiz 5 for Mock 5 Talk, okay? So the first question says, using the Venn diagram, how many students take math or biology but not English? These all three questions are the same diagram, but they're different questions, okay? So it says math or biology, but not English, okay? So we're talking about this circle and this circle, right? Or, but not English, okay? So that does not include these guys right here. So that means you would have added 15, 6, and 32. Okay, the next one says biology or English. Biology or English. Again, but not math. So this time we're excluding these guys right here. So we're going to add 15, 3, and 20. The last one is English, math or English. Math or English, but not biology. So it doesn't include these right here, okay? So you're going to add 32, 7, and 20. Drawing our next problem, it says, using the Venn diagram, find the probability of football or band, or on the right one, drama or football. So the first thing we have to do is add up all these numbers. So when I did that, I got that there are 300, and the drawings are the same, okay? So then it says football or band. So if we're doing football or band, then we're going to pull the numbers that combine those two groups, right? So when I did that, I got 149, and that's divided by 300, and so that's basically 50%. Now over here, when you do drama or football, so we have drama down here, and we have football up there. 30 divided by 300, and that's 43%. So again, these next question stems are the same. What a group of parents were surveyed to determine what their favorite sport is to watch on television. What their favorite sport to watch is on television is, okay? What is the probability that males or females like to watch baseball? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get some totals for all of these first, because all these tables are the same. So I went ahead and added these up. The football total is 52, basketball 38, baseball 60, male 77, female 73, and then if I add the 52, 38, and 60, that's 150, and same way with 77 and 73, that's 150. So let's go ahead and answer the question now. It says, what is the probability that males or females like to watch baseball? So males or females, that's those two, so baseball. So that's this total right here. So right, that's 60 over 150. So 60 over 150 is 0.4. Okay, the next one says, what is the probability that males or females, again, like to watch football? So football here is 52. So this one's going to be the 52 over the 150. And again, that's 0.35. The last one here is going to be what group of parents. Okay, so what is the probability of males or females, again, like to watch basketball? So basketball is here, and that was our total for basketball was 38. So this one's going to be 38, again, over 150, okay? So again, the process same, just different questions. So the next one says the two-way table shows the classification of students in math class by gender and dominant hand. A student who is ambidextrous uses both hands equally well. What is the probability that a randomly selected student in the class is female, given that the student is left-handed? Okay, so we're given, remember the given part goes in the denominator and it's a total. Do y'all remember this? So left-handed, what is our total for left-handed? It's right here, right? So we're going to do 6 in the denominator, okay? And then how many of those students are females? 2, right? So that's 2 over 6, and that reduces to be 1/3. So our next one is, what is the probability that randomly selected student in the class is male, given that the student's right-handed, okay? So now we're talking about right-handed totals and males. So that is just 11 over 23, right? And this last one down here is, what is the probability that randomly selected student in the class is female, given that the student is right-handed? So again, we're going right-handed. We got our denominator of 23 again, and how many of those were females? 12. Okay? So our next question says, given set A with the various numbers in it and set B, what is the intersection? This is A and B, right? That's what this means, and, right? Because it has an N looking symbol in it, right? So we're looking for the intersection of A and B. So the intersection of A and B, 1 is in both, right? So then we got 4, no. 5, no. 6, yep, that one's in both. And 2 and 3, no, right? And then 7, yes. Not 8. Yes, 9. Yes, 9. Okay, so that's how we got that answer. Down here, same thing, only we have different set of numbers, right? So again, we're looking for the intersection between A and B, right? Because that's what that symbol and means. So here again, we've got a 1 and a 1. We've got no 2 over there, but yes, a 3. And yes, a 4. Right? But no 5 on the right, no 6 on the left, no 7, no 8, no 9, okay? All right, so for this last one, it says again, we're doing the same thing, the intersection of A and B. There's not a 1 in the other one. There's not a 2 in A. There is a 3 in both. And there is a 4 in both. But no 5, no 6, no 7, no 8, no 9. There we go. Okay? So that's what intersection means. It means something that's in both sets. It says find the radius given the equation. Find the center radius given the equation. So here again, we're going to create 2 sets of parentheses. And we're going to move that 81 to the other side. Okay? So we're going to do x's in the left parentheses plus a blank. And we're going to put our y's in the right set of parentheses. Okay? We're going to divide our middle number, our coefficient, by 2. That's going to give us 9, so this is going to be x plus 9 squared. Then we're going to square that 9, and that's going to put me this 81 up here, plus an 81 up there. Okay, now we're going to take this negative 4, and we're going to divide it by 2. That's going to give us minus 2. So it's going to be y minus 2 squared. And then we're going to square that negative 2, and that's going to give us a positive 4 and a 4 here. Plus 4 there. Okay, so these two are going to cross each other out, right? So this is going to be just 4. So remember, when we pull these numbers for our center, we change the signs, right? So this is going to be a negative 9 and a positive 2 for our center. So definitely not those two. And then we have to take the square root of the 4 for our radius, right? So that's why the radius is 2. So the only difference between the prior problem and this one is the signs. Do y'all notice the signs right here? Everything else is the same, okay? So this now would end up being an x minus 9 squared plus a y plus 2 squared. Remember, when you square numbers, you're going to end up with positive numbers every time. So you're still going to end up with a 4 over there, okay? So again, when we pulled this one, it's going to be positive 9, negative 2, okay? That's the only difference between these two problems, are the signs. The next one says which equation is perpendicular to y equals 4x plus 8 and passes through the point. So perpendicular means we're doing a negative 1/4, right? Because this slope right here is 4. So we're going to change the sign and we're going to write the reciprocal of it. So this is our new m. This is our x. This is our y. So what do we need to find? So first of all, we notice that this cannot be it and this cannot be it because those are not perpendicular slopes, right? So it's got to be either c or d. So when we do this, we're going to use the equation y equals mx plus b. So that's going to be 3 equals negative 1/4 times 16 plus our b. This is 3 is going to be equal to negative 4 plus b. So we got to add 4 to both sides. So b is equal to 7. So that's why the answer was C. Down here, the difference is what? This is a negative 3, okay? So that's going to be a negative 3 equals negative 1/4 times our 16 again, plus our b. So this is going to be negative 3 equals negative 4 plus b. So b, we're going to add 4 to both sides this time, right? So we're going to add 4, sorry. So this time b is equal to 1. That's it. The next one says determine whether the parallelogram with the vertices negative 4, negative 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 0, negative 3 is a rectangle, rhombus, or square, or just a parallelogram. So one of the easy ways to do this is look at the slope. And you guys probably did this on graph paper, but we can do it right here. The slope of, and I'm not going to do AB and BC. Well, I'm going to do AB for all of them, okay? And they would be the same for all of these y, because our A and B points are the same. Okay, so we're going to do that by doing y2 minus y1 over x2. Sorry, that should be a subscript, y'all. X2 minus x1, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 minus a minus 1 over negative 2 minus a minus 4, okay? So that's going to give me a plus right here, right? That's going to be 4 over 2, which is 2. Okay, so that's my slope for AB for all of them. Now we're going to look at the slope of BC, okay? So we're going to look at the slope of BC, and that's going to be equal to, again, 1 minus 3 over 2 plus 2, because it's minus 2, right? So that's going to be negative 2 over 4, so that's negative 1/2. So we know, okay, now listen, what do you notice about the numbers that we use to create our slope, okay? So 4 and 2 and negative 2 and 4. So when I square those, I'm going to end up with the same side. And what does this tell us right here? That they're perpendicular, right? So when I square 4, let me show you quickly. So we do 4 squared plus 2 squared. That's equal to 16 plus 4, which is 20. So that's the square root of 20, right? And then when we do negative 2 squared plus 4 squared, don't we get the same value, right? Because that's still 4 plus 16, which is square root of 20. So because AB and BC are congruent, that's why it's a square. The sides are congruent and perpendicular. So here again, we already know what AB is. We know AB is equal to 2 here. So we're going to look at BC again, okay? So this is going to be 1 minus 3 and 0 minus 2. Okay, so what is that slope? That's going to be negative 2 over positive 2, right? So that's negative 1. So there's no relationship of the slopes here, right? So at this point, we know it's not, we know it's not a rectangle or a square. And we also know, because up here we had 4 and 2, right? We also know that those sides are not congruent, right? Because negative 2 squared plus 2 squared would be 8. This would be the square root of 8, and this one would still be our square root of 20, right? For our side length. Okay, down here, again, we're going to look at BC. We already know what AB is. So let's do this BC in a different color. BC is going to be equal to, this time, 5 minus 3 over 2 plus 2, because it's 2 minus 2, right? So that's going to be 2 over 4, right? So that's equal to 1/2. So once again, we know it's not a rectangle and a square, because our slope up here for AB was what? 4 over 2, right? So that was equal to 2. All right, so what do you notice about these, though? Isn't this going to be the square root of 20? And this one going to be the square root of 20? So that's why it's a rhombus, because all the sides are going to be congruent. All right, the last one, again, our slope for AB is 4 over 2, which equals 2, right? Then our slope for BC for this one is going to be negative 2 minus 3 over 8 plus 2, okay? So what's that going to be? That's going to be negative 5 over 10. Can't add, obviously. Over 10. So that's going to be negative 1/2, right? Ooh, what do you notice? The slopes are perpendicular, aren't they? Okay, so that means, but what else do you notice? That these numbers are not the same as these numbers, so it can't be a square, right? So because the slopes are perpendicular, we know it's not a parallelogram, and we know it's not a rhombus. Well, it could be a rhombus, but it would be a square then. But we also know that the sides aren't congruent because 4 squared plus 2 squared is not equal to negative 5 squared plus 10 squared. So that's why it's a rectangle. Okay? All right, so here's our last one. For the quiz, find the perimeter of the following figure, round to the nearest tenth. So for this one, perimeter, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And then we're going to go up and over to find this length. Okay, so we went up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We went over 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 5 and 5. So the length of xz is equal to 5 squared plus 5 squared, which is equal to the square root of 50, which is going to be 7.1, I think, okay? Our other side over here, zy, is going to be 1, 2, and 5 again. So this is going to be equal to 2 squared plus 5 squared. That's going to be equal to 4 plus 25, that's 29. Square root of 29 is 5.4. And then we're going to also add, remember this one down here, right? We're going to add this side too, so that's what's 7. So 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 5 is 19, so 19.5. Okay? Down here, same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one's 7 wide, okay? This right here is 2 tall and 3 wide. So when I find xz here, it's going to be 2 squared, that was 3, plus 3 squared, that's 9 plus 4, which is equal to 13. And the square root of 13 is equal to 3.6. Then we're going to find our other side. This one is 2 tall and 1, 2, 3, 4 wide. 2 tall and 4 wide. So that is, again, our zy. And that's equal to 4 squared plus 2 squared. That's 16 plus 4, which is 20. And the square root of 20 is 4.5. So once again, we're going to add that 7 as well. So that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 point, wait, so this was 15.1, which is pretty close to 15. Yep. Okay. So the next one says find the perimeter of the following figure. Again, we're going to count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Then we're going to do this side over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 2, 5 by 2. So again, xz is equal to 5 squared plus 2 squared. That's 25 plus 4, which is 29. Square root of 29. Square root of 29 is 5.4. Okay. Then we're going to do this one over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. And what is that right there? From negative 2 to 5, so that's 7. Right? Okay, so this is going to be zy. You know what, let's move that down. Zy is equal to 7 squared plus 5 squared. So that's going to be 49 plus 25. So 49 plus 25 is 74. So we're going to take square root of 74. And that's equal to 8.6. So we're 9 to that. So 5.4 plus 8.6, that would be 14, plus 9 is, yes, 23. There we go. All right, so the last thing I want to go over with you guys is this bonus. I don't remember if all this was written in y'all's problem or not, but in recent years, the 3 most popular car colors in the United States have been black, silver, and white. Suppose a poll of 40 randomly selected cars. Buyers give the following results. The table shows men's and women's preferences differed in the poll. Make a table of joint and marginal relative frequencies expressed in decimal form. So what we can do here is we can add these up. 7, 7, 7, 19, right? And then 4, 4, 4, that's 12. This is 20. And that's 9 plus 11, that's also 20. So that was for a total of 40, okay? So now here's what we do to get the marginal table, though, y'all. So we divide every one of these numbers by 40. So when we divide 4 by 40, we get 0.1, okay? So we get 0.1 here, we get 0.1 here, right? We divide 80 8 by 40, we get 0.2. So you add all those up, you get 0.5, right? Okay, same here. 3 divided by 40 is 0.075. 0.075, 0.075. And again, we divide the 11 by the 20, and we get, by 40. 11 divided by 40 is 0.275, and we add all those up, we get 0.5, okay? Here we're going to get 175, can't write, y'all. 175, 175, and this is going to be 475, right? And then the total when we add them all together is 1, okay? So that's how we create a marginal relative frequencies table, okay? Part we could do one of two ways, okay? So we could just take the numbers, the original numbers, and we could say, because it says, use the two-way table to answer to find the answer to, given that the driver is a woman, what is the probability that the car is silver, okay? So our given is a total, right? So we're going to do our 0.5 as our denominator, 0.5, and then remember, because our given goes on the bottom, and then how many of those are silver? 0.075. So that's one way to do it. When we do that, we get 15.15, which is 15%. Now, the other way you could have done it is you could have taken your original numbers from the table, and that's what a lot of people did. They take the given, which is the 20, and the 3, which was, so we take the given, which is women, which was the 20, okay, and then we take the 3, the silver cars that the women had, and that's still 0.15 and 15%. So you could approach this problem either way when it came to solving for the probability.